So who's our cheerleaders and who's our, what is the word that you used earlier?
Naysayers.
Or naysayers. So who's in your corner? Because really and truly, again, I go back to, I don't believe that we're on this earth to be alone.
I agree.
So if we can say to little kids, you don't need to be afraid, I am with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as we get, as we become adults, where are people that are with us that can say, don't be afraid? Or is it hard for us to be vulnerable?
It's because at some point we have been vulnerable to the wrong person. And either they've taken that vulnerability and they've taken advantage of it, or they've shared your vulnerable moment with someone else who used it against you. And so it's very hard to put yourself in that situation again for fear that you're going to go into the same situation.
Facts. That's so true and so good. So now the question is, how do you identify who are the right people versus the wrong people for you? Dang.
Okay. Don't take this the wrong way. Okay. Unless
Who, me? Take it the wrong way?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
Unless I truly feel it in my spirit that this person is for me. Everybody starts at this level here. Right?
Yes.
They start here. Everybody's equal. You start here. And then as we interact, either you go up or you go down. But it's going to take me a full 90 days to assess
the situation.
Assess the situation. The Army was on to something when they said 90 days before you start making changes. And I truly believe that, because people can only hold a facade for so long.
So true.
And if you're paying attention to those little red flags instead of just sticking in your pocket and collecting them, you might figure out who's on your team and who isn't.
Don't ignore the signs.
Don't ignore the signs.
Or stop trying to make somebody something or who you want them to be.
And they don't have the ability to do it. Nowhere in them is there the ability to be that person that you need.
So then that goes into another thing that I'm thinking of. Like, I can see a little child as we're talking, right? Because I like going, I guess, down to infancy stages, or again, your formative years, right? I can see the child who has always thought that they weren't good enough. We call it role playing or having imaginary friends, right? And so guess what? Your imaginary friend, who ever argued with their imaginary friend?
Nobody.
Just a random thought, squirrel moment, here we go. You never argued with your imaginary friend.
Was down for whatever.
Let's go.
Right? Do it.
That imaginary friend was your ride or die. If you want to make cupcakes on the radiator, your imaginary friend was like, let's go. Right? And so now we fast forward into, which I will say, reality. I dare say that, because talking about just allowing people and not being able to identify with who is who, is it safe to say that some of us are so desperate to have friends that I will take you and turn you into a whole imagination? You are perfect for me. And the moment that you show me anything outside of that, I'm not, first of all, I don't care, because you would never say or do that.
And I'm excusing you.
There
has to be a reason as to why.
Another moment of like revelation that I'm having, I don't even think that they ever, or we have ever said, I can change that person. Whoever said that? You may respond in that manner, but you never really sit there and have a conversation with yourself like, you know what? He's a douchebag and I'm going to change him. What? Or she is just really rude, but you know what? It's okay, girl. I'm going to change you. You're going to have a come to Jesus moment. No! We don't say those things. We just ignore it until we can't take it anymore. And then it's like, when you start telling the person who's like What's wrong with you? Why would you allow that person into your life? You're like, I never saw it coming.
Really? Do me a favor. Put your hand in your pocket. How many red flags do you have?
Right. Same flag football, boo.
Yes.